The following is a non-profit horror story narration. The story narrated with full permission and cooperation is written and owned by the author, who is credited in the subject line and in the description down below, along with a link to the original story. This video may contain some material such as violence, creepiness, jump scares, adult language, and suggested content which may not be suitable for some viewers. Please support the official release, and viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Nightmare Rodent Army.
Please heed my warning. The universe is already on the fast track to expiring, and you people are the only ones in the universe left alive at this point. I will tell you my story and my travels in hopes it will help your people to survive. My name is Oren. I've come from a different dimension, a different universe, trying to rescue and save as much life as I can from what I call the Void. In science, you people call it vacuum decay, except this is a real living creature. It swallows entire star systems and galaxies. Right now, when you look into the sky and see countless stars, they are but remnants of life, and their final breath is traveling through space to express their last dying words. There is nothing out there for you. Nothing can stop it. And there is nothing to see anymore. It will take millions of years before it gets to you, but I can let you know it's all dead out there. I'll tell you my story, so you can follow in my footsteps, as it could lead to the survival of your race and future generations. But you must act very soon. Let me begin where it all began on my home universe. My people have always had a very long lifespan. To give some perspective, the entire human civilization until this point would only be a blink in my total lifetime. Because of this, there is a wealth of knowledge that has been passed down generation to generation, it all being accumulated to this point. With all of this knowledge, several thousand years before the Great Dying, we discovered the Void collapsing entire galaxies. Our greatest minds got together in what was called the Council and brainstormed a possible end to the Void. However, no matter what we threw at it, and no matter the attempts to reach out, the creature seemed unwavering and had the intent to end everything. The Council decided there was no way to stop the Great Devouring Void, so they wanted to move on to another dimension. However, the machine wasn't done. At this point, we had very little time left as the Void was moving closer and closer by year. Soon after, there was a discovery of a new mineral. This mineral had all the answers we needed and produced enough radioactive power to charge the temporal machine. However, it was really close to the Void, so we had extracted as much as we could before it too would end up in the beast's gullet. The events after would lead to my eventual travel to 7 other dimensions, all containing the beast and all ending up the same, swallowed up into nothing. Within a few years, the Council was able to get a working model, and testing was on the way. I was part of the Council at this point. Since I was the head engineer, I would facilitate the trials. The first one was a young woman, couldn't be older than 6,000 years. She was short but perfect for this test. She put the suit on, and within seconds, her suit started to light up. Good. It's working great. We may only need one test for her size range, I thought to myself. Shortly after, the whirling of metal and popping became extremely loud. Shortly after, I started hearing the crunching of bone and the tearing of flesh Her screams echoed throughout the testing chamber. Her blood was leaking out of the suit, and a mist of blood sprayed as the pressure grew on the suit. Before I could turn the suit off, it already collapsed her whole body into a round mass of meat and blood. This was not the last trial this happened. Time and time again, no matter the size or the tweaks I designed, they all failed each test subject, ending up as a puddle on the floor. The public grew wary, and fewer people volunteered. We ended up having to pay them to have people tested. After a year of failures, the void was in a couple hundred years, which to us was not long enough. We kept trying, hundreds of bodies piled up, and with only few years left, I was finally successful in my first test. It started with a stout man who was 5.2 feet tall and 265 pounds. That being said, he was a bit nervous knowing the pile of bodies that he was trying to overcome. We were all scared of what could happen. I was on the floor this time, and I was tweaking the suit to only jump to the nearest dimension that is safe. I found there was an issue, and the suit was low on fuel, but we decided to go forward with it anyways. You'll be okay. I promise. I'll be here to watch personally to make sure it all goes right, I said to the test subject. He looked at me with a nervous smile and shook his head in silence, accepting his fate, whether he lives or dies. In the wave of my hand, the other scientists in the pod above pressed the button and activation. In a flash of blue light, the man disappeared. Now, I did tell him how to come back, and the idea is the suit needs to wait 2 hours before it can actually boot up and start again. I left instructions to how to start it manually in the pocket. We hear him say something over comms, but it was full of static, but we could still make it out.
Blue clouds are really pretty.
I replied to him with how to fix the issue. You could hear him slowly getting better.
Hello? Is this better?
He said. Yes, much better. Go ahead and describe the area. There was a short pause.
The sky is blue, and the clouds are normal, akin to our clouds. Oddly, I don't see any other beings or life. I don't see grass or trees. It's all dirt and stone.
I wrote down some of the other information. It was only relevant to see if we could live there, so we might be able to plant trees or vegetables. While I was writing the notes down, I could hear,
What the fuck is that?
It's the test subject. He was screaming and running for his life. Listen, you have to describe what is going on. What is chasing you? I could hear him huffing and puffing.
I don't think it could have caught up. It's actually really slow.
I wrote this down and asked, what are its features? The test subject was able to catch his breath and say,
Okay. The thing is bright orange and had 4 legs, with what looks to be stone covering him from head to toe. It's just walking around. There's no head. I can see just legs and a body. Can I come back?
I note all this down on the pad. Alright, you can come back. Just pull the cord on your chest and press the button inside the glove. He sighs and replies,
Okay. Here goes nothing.
we could hear the suit whirl up and pop. Seconds later, I hear screaming coming from the admin room. I rushed upstairs to find the male subject unable to speak, but he was out of the suit, and the suit itself was on the ground. However, he was melted into the wall. No blood coming out. It looks like he fused with it perfectly. It wasn't until he started to flail his arms and grabbing on people where we studied him and his effects. An hour goes by, and I reported, it works only one way. But the good news, it works. I reported this finding the rest of the people, and with only a few days left, we all started to mass produce the suits. The only kicker is, we only had fuel for one suit, which I knew, but the rest didn't. I'm not proud of this, but the void was getting closer, and at the point where I fueled up the suit all the way, it was only hours left. Everyone was getting ready to start their own suits. Billions of people all hopefully, but unaware of the void, was going to end their suffering. I only hope my people got a swift death as I teleported out. I think about all my people being destroyed by that void. I wake up at night screaming, remembering seeing it open its impossible huge mouth as it swallowed the stars and galaxy, barreling towards us. I can't imagine the fear they had when none of the suits worked, or the anger they had when they noticed I left and no one else. What was I supposed to do? Die? And not warn countless others? My decision wasn't a selfish one. I built the suit. I know all its ins and outs. I know how to fuel and take care of it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to rant, but I need you reading this to understand how this thing works. My home dimension has to be gone by now, I thought as I popped into every new dimension. This one was strange. Everything was gray, but I could feel wind. I looked at my diagnostics. It appears that there was a breathable amount of oxygen in the air. This planet was entirely the same as ours, just underdeveloped. It was getting late, and I needed to build a shelter. Now with the rest of the night, I just used the fuel I had left to charge my suit. That was the backstory of my universe. This new one will be gone soon, but that's a story for a different time, as this one has gone long enough, and I have way more to tell about the new plane. Tonight, I'll be charging the suit up and laying down. Until then, long live, travelers. R.N.D.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Special shout out goes out to my recruits on Patreon, Creepy Clown Girl, and Breaker19, aka Lycan Trucker. If you would like to become a recruit in the Nightmare Ronin army, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It's only $1 a month. It is not recommended, but it is appreciated. Thank you. And with that, our story comes to a close. I'd like to thank everybody for showing up to my premiere. And to those who missed the premiere and just now watched the replay, thank you for watching. Special shout out goes out to the writer for granting me permission to narrate their story for all of you. Their name is credited in the subject and in the description down below, along with a link to their story and their social media. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, share,
subscribe, and enjoy. And don't forget to katana/bell for notifications. And don't forget to check out my social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and any other social media I'm involved in. Links will be in the description down below, along with my link tree. If you like to represent the Nightmare Ronin army in style, please consider visiting my merch store at Teespring. The link will be in the description down below. Until next time, I'll be seeing you
in the shadows.